Okay, we're at episode 10 already, and because of our good result last time out, I'm gonna up the AI again to 100 now. Let's see how that will play out. Okay, we completed the new aero upgrade. Let's see, side pod profile, that's a drag reduction upgrade, a major one. So we are now the best team in terms of aero. That's a turnaround I didn't expect. We were like 6th one episode ago, I believe. That could make us really quick around COTA. Let's see, in terms of chassis, we are the 7th team on the grid, and our powertrain is the 2nd best. Only Aston Martin is just ahead of us, so we should still be very quick on the straights. Okay, sprint weekend, no rain on the radar, and apparently we completed another upgrade. Wastegate, where is it? It's a supplier upgrade that we got from Red Bull. So maybe, yeah, we do now have the fastest engine because of that supplier upgrade. Okay, how does that look in the car performance graph? Ooh, look at that. 5 teams very close together. You can barely tell from the graph that we are the 4th team. But enough with the talking, let's go to one-shot quali.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Perez, Cookie, Norris, Maldonado, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Albon, Gasly, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Joe, Stroll, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. Here we go then, the formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint. As all the cars take their positions on the grid, the final preparations have been made, and all that's left is for the drivers to deliver on track.
It's Hamilton ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Leclerc behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 2.2 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. All right, 6 laps to go now. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. That's just 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're 8th. Time last lap was a 1:35.9. Leclerc is behind you. Our gap behind is 0.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:35.7. Hamilton's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres, and the time last lap was a 1:36.0. You're closing by 4/10 a lap. Keep it going. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Nice move, keep going. Car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race. Okay, you've got P3, well done. It's Verstappen ahead, less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. That's Hamilton behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now, you want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Okay, good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
So let's review the updated driver standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Well, that wraps up the sprint. All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Well, you don't need me to remind you that Formula One is now so beloved in the United States that we race here 3 times a year. But let's give respect to COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, to give it its full name. This place laid the foundations for this moment and still remains the host of the US Grand Prix. It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside of the great city of Austin. This is a 3.6-mile lap with 20 corners, 10 to the left and 10 to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Cookie completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Maldonado, Albon, Ocon, Gasly, Norris, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, Bottas, Stroll, Joe, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Natalie Pinkham. Now, our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
There has been an exponential growth in the popularity of Formula One, and it is fantastic to see. This is the glue that's bonding families together. This is the talking point on a Sunday afternoon as they sit round and watch the race as a unit. I love the fact that people are starting to appreciate the various nuances of the sport, the fact there are so many layers to it. This is the cutting edge of technology, but there's also so much personality and sacrifice, personal sacrifice, that gets drivers and race teams where they are today.
The formation lap gets underway, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. You're in first position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Okay, your pit window opens in 9 laps time. 19 laps to go. Okay, DRS is now available. Okay, we've lost a position, that's us down a place. You're in second place. Sainz ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. And Verstappen's behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. Alright, 16 laps to go. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Gap to your teammate behind is 2.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're sitting in 7th. Time last lap was a 1 minute 38.3. Hamilton behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The last lap time was a 1:38.2. Leading the pack, that's P1. That's Hamilton behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. 13 laps to go. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, that's Pastor in the pits. Pastor's in the pits. Behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 38.4. Box this lap, push hard on the in-lap. Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip any time now. go, go! Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. That's P5, you're in P5. Perez ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Leclerc behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Our gap to first place is 8.0 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 9 laps to go. Yellow flag. Green flag. So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes. P3, you're currently in P3. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Perez is behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 7.3 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, 7 laps to go. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. It's Hamilton ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 6.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:36.1. This is excellent stuff. You're closing in by 7/10 a lap. Starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. And Verstappen's behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 1.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:36.3. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. Currently the fastest lap is at 1:35.2. We don't currently have the data for that request. Hamilton's ahead of you. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 4.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 37.4. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Tyre condition still looking good. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 2.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:36.8. Okay, you're sat in P2. It's Hamilton ahead, and gap to the car in front is 4.9 seconds. They're on old mediums, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, car behind trailing us, 1.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Rain's a few lap outs yet, but it is coming, so be careful. Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap. Great drive. Everyone here is really happy with that performance. Well done, mate.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton. The multiple world champion may be the obvious choice at this point, but he's certainly a driver deserving of his great reputation.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack.
That was an amazing result. I didn't expect we would get on the podium against 100 AI. But the car performance was awesome. The setup was perfect. We didn't have any worn engine parts. And the AI were battling a lot. And of course the fact that it was a sprint weekend definitely helped.
The tech regulations are changing. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Okay, let's see. Oh, durability is changing. That's not too bad. 5 weeks remaining, 9 parts at risk. Let's start right away. See how many R&D points we still have left. Still have over 3,000 left, so it's not too bad. Okay, let's see. Did something change in terms of car performance? Not that much. McLaren got a little boost. So did Alfa Romeo. But the orders basically stayed the same. So let's see if we can grab another podium. First, let's go to one-shot quali.
Back in the 60s, Mexico City would host the season-ending race, a party of motor racing. Well, we might not host the finale now, but Mexico hosts a party nonetheless. So welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexico City Grand Prix. We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Maldonado, Gasly, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Ocon, Joe, Hulkenberg, Cookie, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Stroll, Norris, De Vries, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great podium in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Right then, we're off for the formation lap here in Mexico, and the excitement is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books. Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. Currently P11, currently P11. Alonso ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Zhu behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. The distance to the leader is 5.6 seconds. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time. 24 laps to go. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Gap to your teammate ahead is 3.0 seconds.
They're on fresh softs. They're sitting in 7th. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 19.1. Bottas is ahead of you now. Okay, gap ahead is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:19.8. Alright, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. Teammate by 3.5 seconds. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 18.5. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap. Nice move, good job. Okay, you're in the top 10. Alonso's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:20.3. Alright, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. You're in P17, P17. Ocon is ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Stroll behind. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, that's Sonoda just ahead. Come on, push hard. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 21.7. Alright, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. Information on Ocon. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, go, go, go! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Look after these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. last of the running cars right now. Okay, Magnussen ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 12.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Coming in for a stop now. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 6.3 seconds. Hulkenberg ahead of you now. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 2.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Tsunoda's behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now and want to finish the race on this compound. 13 laps to go. Behind. Okay, gap to the car behind. 2.5 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are just 1 lap old, and the time last lap was a 1:39.7. That last lap was a 1:19.7. you've got P12. Hulkenberg ahead, and gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Tsunoda's behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 0.8 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now, and 11 laps to go. Gap to your teammate ahead is 10.3 seconds. Looking at some imminent gearbox issues, I'm afraid. Watch out for jams and misgears. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Well, not the result our points leader would have wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
There's a few contenders, but George Russell definitely stood out, I think. A really solid drive from him today, and one I'm sure the fans enjoyed.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.